Are you a football fan? Have you ever found yourself wondering, what in the world was that ref thinking? Well, Mike D, the referee, is here to help you. Join me on Whistle Talk as I talk to professionals on the field and in the booth to help you understand what is going on inside the mind of a football official. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Whistle Talk. Mike D, the referee, joining you once again here from lovely New Jersey on this nice July day, getting ready for the rollout of the football season. I am less than a week away from working my first 7-on-7 tournament, so getting ready to get on out there. Before we begin, just once again, to all the listeners that are out there, if you're enjoying the show, if you know anybody that would also enjoy the show, hit those like buttons, hit those subscribe buttons, all those free little things that are out there for you, and hit those share buttons. You could share them with any other officials, any other coaches that you may know that are out there, because as we're getting closer and closer to the season, well, the rules become more and more important. With that being said, last week's episode with Daniel and Coach Chip on the kick game, I decided to cut it shorter on the recording because, well, A, I had some technical difficulties to start off the show, but then B, we went about an hour and 25 and 30 minutes. So instead of making it one long show, I decided to cut it up into two different segments. So without further ado, we are going to pick up right where we left off on Rule 6, the kick game. Got another graph here that goes over.
This is a great graphic. I learned so much from this graphic. It's a great graphic.
Yep. So now on this graphic here, we'll start from the far right side. K is kicking the ball from the 40-yard line on the left-hand side. So they kick the ball through or into the end zone. We got a dead ball. Touchback. Anywhere between the 50 and that goal line, it's a free ball. K may recover, not advance. Also, then you have your 5-yard belt, which is where the kicking team can go back to. So the 35-yard line when the ball is being kicked from the 40. More than 5 players behind the ball, more than 5 yards behind the ball, they must be the kicker, and a minimum number of 4 players on each side of the ball. So this kind of just sums everything up for our kickoff from the 40-yard line that we'll need to know, sort of.
That's good. And y'all call that thing the 5-yard belt?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the graphic calls it. I actually don't know that I have ever used that term other than on that graphic. All right, scrimmage kicks. Daniel, you want to take scrimmage kicks?
I do. Scrimmage kick 6-2. Scrimmage kick, any kick from in or behind the neutral zone during a down. K may punt, drop kick, or place kick prior to change of possession from in or behind the neutral zone. K doesn't have to be in scrimmage kick formation to execute a scrimmage kick. We say that again. They do not have to be in scrimmage kick formation to execute a scrimmage kick. K or A, it would be A if they were the offense, may not punt, drop kick, or place kick from beyond the neutral zone or after change of possession. R or B, depending if they were the receiving team or the defense, may not punt, drop kick, or place kick, period, because they're the defense. Penalty there would be an illegal kick, S31, or signal 31, which would be 10 yards.
So I want to go to the third bullet point down of K doesn't have to be in a scrimmage kick formation to execute a scrimmage kick. This is important because when we talk about formations, this gives people some protection when they are in the scrimmage kick formation.
Right.
But they don't have to be in the scrimmage kick formation in order to kick the ball. If you want to line up in a set offensive formation and you want to be quarterback under center, gets the snap, turns around and pitches it to the running back, well, that's an offensive formation, and then that running back kicks the ball, go for it. But that running back's not going to be afforded the protection of the roughing the kicker, and the center is not going to be afforded the protection of staying off the center. So that's why that is in there. All right, Coach Chip, you get the receivers here.
All right, touching and recovery of scrimmage kicks, Rule 6-2-2. By receivers, any receiving player may catch or recover a scrimmage kick in the field of play, like the front line on an onside kick. Yeah. Can advance unless it is a try or a valid or invalid fair catch signal was given. Okay, whoa, I'm gonna stop right there. So if they're doing that deke thing and the guy calls fair catch on the right hash and the ball goes over on the left hash because he's trying to decoy the kicking team.
Mm-hmm.
If a guy on the receiving team picks it up and takes off running, all right, is that a penalty or are you blowing it dead because it was a fair catch?
Both. And I'm going to
do 5 yard, like delay a game or something?
Yeah, and we're going to try to err on not allowing that to happen. Ideally, we want to blow it dead right away because we saw that fair catch where our player may not have known that it was a fair catch by his teammate, which ignorance to the law doesn't make it okay, but we're going to make sure to blow that dead. Now, if we blow the whistle and that guy keeps on returning, now we may drop that hanky for a delay game penalty, but we're going to try to kill that right away, and that's going to be on us to make that kid right.
All right, here's that crazy one a while ago down in Tornado Alley. Receiver may catch or recover a scrimmage kick in K's end zone. So that is so obscure. If kick becomes dead inbounds between goal lines with no player in possession or with joint possession, ball is awarded to the receiving team at the spot.
So, Coach Chip, I want to
another episode too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go back to the one you just mentioned was obscure. So R may catch or recover a scrimmage kick in K's end zone. In K's end zone.
Scrimmage kick, you're right. That may happen because a scrimmage kick, yeah.
That's going to be your punt out of your end zone, and you punt that ball straight up in the air, it comes back down. Or I watched a kid punt the ball into the rear end of his up back.
I was about to say the old pigskin enema.
Yep, and then stand there and watch the ball, and I just waited a half second. Now, this was a freshman game. It was early in the season, too, of a freshman game. And I waited, and then the ball was still kind of rolling a little bit, but nobody knew what to do. They thought maybe it was a touchback. They thought maybe it was a safety. They're like looking at me, and then somebody from the receiving team jumped on it, and I put my hands up in the air. I was like, touchdown. Like, but it didn't go out. It doesn't matter. It was a touchdown.
What if nobody recovered it, like the scenario you're talking? What if they just kept looking at it for an indeterminate amount of time? Would you have called a safety?
I would have called the safety. Yep.
Okay.
All right, Daniel.
Touching and recovery of scrimmage kicks, 6-2, 3, and 4. 6-2, 3, and 6-2, 4. Better state that. By kickers, any K player may catch or recover a scrimmage kick while it is in or behind the neutral zone and advance it, in conjunction with Rule 514. Any K player may catch or recover a scrimmage kick while beyond the neutral zone if it has been touched by R clearly beyond the neutral zone, but touching is ignored if K blocks R into the ball or K muffs or bats the ball into R. There are further restrictions in kick catching interference, Rule 656. When any K player catches or recovers a scrimmage kick beyond the neutral zone, the ball is dead. You cannot advance it.
Correct. So here's my question for you.
Ooh, I already know the answer. I already know the question.
Punts in the air. Returner is deep. Ball bounces off the returner's shoulder pad and bounces 5 yards back in the air. Can K catch or recover that scrimmage kick while it is beyond the neutral zone?
Yes.
If it has been touched by R clearly
That is
beyond.
a muff. So that is a catch it and move with it. You can
Can't advance with it. He can't advance it because you can't advance a muff.
Correct.
Oh.
Correct and correct. So recover it, yes. Cannot advance it though.
Wait, if R muffs it, K cannot advance it still?
Correct.
But if he catches it and fumbles it,
Then
be advanced.
Yep, because a kick is a kick is a kick. So when R muffs it, possession hasn't been gained at that point in time.
Good call.
Okay, now it's time for me to give my two stories that I gave them last summer when we did this. In a game, like over 30 years ago. Still remember where we were playing Jeff Davis High School in Montgomery, Alabama at Crampton Bowl.
God bless you for remembering
Pressure on the
these.
punter. Do what?
God bless you for remembering those details.
I don't know. I'm a sick mind. They put pressure on the punter. Punter feels the pressure, so he tries to avoid the pressure coming from his left, and he kicks it off the right side of his foot. We were given the pressure.
Okay.
And the ball goes straight to the tight end, who was still down with his hands on his knees, hits him dead in the butt, and falls down between his knees. All right, so we're bringing pressure off the left side, our right side. So the other side is dropping into punt return.
Yep.
They're running
Setting the
away
wall.
from the ball. And the ball is laying between this guy's feet. Well, he just reaches down and picks it up and takes off running. We tackle him about 15 yards down the field, but he had a first down, and we're going crazy, But that's when I learned that rule. Well, fast forward about 15 years later, maybe. No, 10 years later. Team lines up for a field goal. And we don't even rush it because it's like right at the end of the half. And we're going like, they ain't going to make this kick. And the kick hits, and it hits somebody on their front line dead in the butt. Just like Daniel, you've seen it in practice, on extra point practice, when it kicks the front line guy right in the butt. Well, our kids, they didn't do anything. Their kids just kind of stood around and looked. Well, the holder got up, went over and picked it up and took off running with it, and we tackled him, but he got the first down. And then they got another play or something. I don't know what happened. But I remember that. So if that ball's behind the line of scrimmage, if it has not broke the neutral zone, the kicking team can still advance it. Twice it's happened to me.
I want to hold you off on that. If it breaks the neutral zone, hits the ground, and bounces backwards back into K's side of the ball,
they can advance
it.
Yes, sir.
You can.
Yep. So as long as the recovery is taking place behind the neutral zone, they can go with it. If it's beyond the neutral zone, it's downed or first touching, which we're going to talk about in a moment.
I'd look for that today, but I think that happened. The field goal thing I told you about, I think it happened the year before we went to huddle.
Okay.
Because I went back, I found about the time period where it happened, and I found that team, and I went through 3 games, and I couldn't find it. But it's somewhere out there. And we just looked at each other and said, we got to teach these kids everything.
Yep.
You can't assume anything. We got to teach them everything.
And this is why
yelling, get the ball.
This is why, though, when we going back to what we mentioned before, it's only 20 to 25% of the game, but it's the biggest momentum swing. And if you're a coach out there and you say, oh, we're just going to practice it on Thursday afternoon just because it's semantics, you're probably going to get bit by it. Something that you want to practice and know and have somebody dedicated to coaching special teams, or at least, like we talked about, having your rules coach. Well, you definitely want to have a special teams coach that knows and understands the rules, because again, it will come back and bite you. And if you're the loudest one on the sideline for the punt team, you may be able to get somebody's attention to scoop that ball up and go. All right. First touching. Did we talk about this one yet? No. Coach Chip just did this one. All right. First touching of scrimmage kicks, 6-2-5. By definition, going back to Rule 2, first touching again, scrimmage kick, touched in the field of play or beyond the expanded neutral zone by any K player before it touches R. Such touching is ignored if caused by R pushing or blocking K into the ball. Again, R may take the ball at any spot of first touching or the result of the play, and R's right to spot of first touching is canceled if R touches the kick and then commits a foul, or any penalty is accepted during that play. So this slide is basically a carbon copy of the previous slide that we talked about first touching. Now, touching and out of bounds, 6-2, 6-2-6, and 6-2-7. Touching of a scrimmage kick in or behind the expanded neutral zone is ignored. Kick does not go beyond the extended neutral zone. It is treated as any other loose ball, which we just talked about. Okay, it doesn't go beyond the neutral zone. The kick goes beyond the neutral zone. It's a kick. Any touching in or behind the neutral zone is now ignored. The ball is awarded to R if a scrimmage kick goes out of bounds, dead with no possession, or in joint possession. The ball is placed at the inbound spot when out of bounds unless R chooses spot of first touching.
Punt return team, coaches, punt return team. If you're trying to block the punt and you deflect it and it crosses the neutral zone, don't be yelling at your kids to get on the ball. Because it's crossed the neutral zone now. Now it's become a kick. It's not a deflected. It's not a partially blocked. It's a kick.
Yep.
That cross. I've been there, done that one too.
All right. Coach Chip, you get touchbacks. Daniel had touchbacks on other ones, so switch it around.
Touchback, scrimmage kick 6-3. It is a touchback if a scrimmage kick, not a scoring attempt, breaks the plane of R's goal line unless R chooses spot of first touching by K. It is a touchback if a scrimmage kick, like on a 3-point field goal, touches a K player in R's end zone or is unsuccessful beyond R's goal line. And a kick is a kick is a kick is a kick until it isn't.
Yes, sir.
If any scrimmage kick becomes dead in the kicker's end zone while no player has possession, we just talked about this.
Yep.
It is a safety or touchback determined by Rule 852 and 853. Safety forced by K via the original kick or a muff, or a touchback if forced by R via a muff or bat after kick has touched ground. So
Makes sense.
we kind of covered that unintentionally earlier.
And again, we got another graph here that goes over all the different things that we talked about. So another great visual, talking about our neutral zone, our dead ball, where it is a touchback, blocked into the end zone, recovered by K is a safety, goes out of bounds as a safety, recovered by R is a touchdown when it's in K's own end zone. And then it talks about all the different things we just talked about of being beyond the neutral zone or behind the neutral zone where it is being touched or recovered. So it's a great graphic there again.
That's another great graphic.
And here we go once more where we're now on a try. So the graphic is up here for the try. It's going to be, I'm sorry, this is just for a field goal. So it talks about the offensive line numbering exception, different things like that. But if it crosses the goal line, it is going to be a touchback. So unlike other leagues in high school, you kick a 40-yard field goal, which is kicking the ball from the 30-yard line, and you miss, the other team is getting the ball now at the 20-yard line because it is a touchback. It is not going back to the previous spot like you see in the NFL. It is not going back to where the ball was kicked from. I think that's the rule, where it's kicked from. So a 40-yard kick, you're getting it right at the 30. So.
And if it doesn't go in the end zone, the kicking team can down it just like a punt, because
you betcha.
A scrimmage kick is a scrimmage kick.
Yep. And I have that. I don't have that video queued up for that one. But before we go, though, Coach, I do want to show one of the clips. Coach was nice enough to send me over a couple of different clips here. I got to stop sharing this. Let's close that out. For our punting team. So let me make this full screen. So, Coach, you want to walk us through this here?
We had them backed up. They're punting out of their own end zone, and it's not a very good punt. And in my remembrance, talking about me remembering details, I thought they touched it, but they didn't. They just looked at it and started walking off the field, and there you see our return man who'd been coached up by our special teams guy, and when he saw them not acknowledging it, he scooped it. And you can see that we're down right there, and we came back and won that game.
So this looks like it's about, I don't know, like a 30-yard punt return here, huh? 33 yards, I'm looking up at the graphic up top. 33-yard punt return for a touchdown. You don't see those too often. But, yeah, the ball was just sitting there, and I'm replaying it again, so you kind of see it. The ball hits the ground, and it's just bouncing. It hasn't come to a stop yet. or maybe it came to a stop for a half second. But again, intent. We see that a player is coming to try to make a play on that. We're going to let that one play out. So K, pick that ball up, hand it to the nearest official. Don't just touch it and turn around. Pick that ball up and down it that way by picking it up, because I think, Coach, you referred to this as a little skeeter bug, this kid that returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah. I still remember his name.
Very nice.
Oh, my goodness. Look what we got right there.
Coach Daniel, what's going on? Something's new in the screen right now.
Yeah, I'm dadding on the fly here, so
Ooh, yeah, that's a
everyone meet Miss Magnolia. She is making sure that I remember that she's in there. She gave me a little cry. So.
Son, she was born with a head full of hair. Come on, Chambo.
All of it, my man.
Woo!
All the hair.
Well, welcome, Camille. Magnolia.
Magnolia Camille?
Yeah. I said it backwards.
It is Magnolia Camille, and you can call her whichever, Mike D. I'm going to call her Cammy, unless my wife yells at me again.
There you go. All right, so Daniel, we just looked back at an old video clip that Coach Chip shared with me about his skeeter bug returner. Still remember him talking about that guy. All right, so moving on here, 6-5, talking about fair catch. Fair catch. R forfeits the advancement of the ball and gets protection, 2-9. On a free kick, in or beyond the neutral zone to R's goal line. On a scrimmage kick, beyond the neutral zone to R's goal line. So you can fair catch a kickoff, you can fair catch a field goal. If it doesn't cross the goal line, you can fair catch a punt, and you're going to be afforded that protection. Any R player may signal for the fair catch while a legal kick is in flight. So Coach Chip, this goes back to you. You are prohibited from blocking until the kick has ended after giving the fair catch signal. I go back to the New England Patriots, and as many people like to think of them as cheaters and whatnot, but this was one of those plays where I think it was Julian Edelman was back returning punts. He didn't give a fair catch signal, and the K team was about to down the ball on like the 3 or 4 yard line, and Julian Edelman came and cleaned that guy up and allowed the ball to roll back and got the touchback out of it. Now, if he were to give that fair catch signal, can't do any of that. So just understand and know what's going on.
But now the other 10 guys can still block.
Yes, only the returner that gives that fair catch signal, because he's afforded the protection. He must then, in essence, give back that same protection. It is a fair catch and ball is dead if R gives a valid fair catch and catches the ball from in or beyond the neutral zone to R's goal line for a free kick, and from beyond the neutral. We just talked about that one.
Yep.
All right. Who wants this one? You want Magnolia to take this one?
Yeah, we'll give it a go. See if we can keep it from crying for 30 seconds. Fair catch 6-5. Only the receiver who gives a valid fair catch signal is afforded the protection, extending and waving of one arm at full arm's length above the head by any R player. A receiver shall not give an invalid fair catch signal, doesn't meet requirements, or after kick touches ground or R player. Penalties: an invalid fair catch signal, signal 32, 5 yards. The runner shall not give an illegal fair catch signal given by the runner after kick has been caught or recovered. Penalty is an illegal fair catch signal, signal 32, 5 yards. No receiver may advance the ball after a valid or invalid fair catch signal by any player. Penalties: delay of game, signal 7 and 21, and that is also 5 yards.
Yeah, so
a good one here, like we talk about all the time, onside kick, whatever, just signal the fair catch. Anyone can do it, but you have to remember that only the guy that does it gets that protection. So here's my question to you, Mike D. Here we are weaponizing the rules.
Yes, sir.
Onside kick situation. All 11 of my guys are instructed as soon as the ball is kicked, you will all wave your hand above your head. Therefore, none of them were touchable by rule, and they can now get on the ball quite easy, because if anyone makes contact with them, well, they signaled fair catch.
Is the ball grounded first?
We're just going to throw it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't fair catch a grounded ball.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's why if they're doing a pooch kick and the pop-up kicks, the pooch kick being that hybrid onside kick where they're not truly trying to kick it to an onside kick scenario, but they're looking for that dead spot on the return team that they're going to try to drop that ball in. And a lot of guys, again, a lot of teams will play with their not so handy receivers back there, that more of the blockers trying to get the ball back to their return guys. They're probably instructed to fair catch the ball at that point in time, because then they'll get afforded the protection to make that catch. Now, if they go for a fair catch and they're an offensive lineman and they muff that fair catch and the ball hits the ground, can K get that ball?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a muff. So.
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
We were doing the drill the other day. We do a lot of kicking stuff in the summer because it's good conditioning too. And where we got them running down the field on the pooch kick, and what we did, a rotation, we had kids practicing catching it and kids practicing running down the field, to make sure that they fit up outside the ball and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him, I said, hey, if you're running down the field and that guy fair catch it, I said, start yelling and screaming at him.
Yeah.
Are you going to call? I want to know so I can tell them don't do it. If you're going to say that's unsportsmanlike, start yelling and screaming, make it kind of like in a baseball, like a little league game, a pop fly, somebody yells, miss it, miss it, miss it.
I'm not going to call it, because if you're listening to the opposing team yell that and you're not hearing the band and the crowd and everything else that's going on around you, then you probably deserve to have that affect you.
Good. We'll keep doing it.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach. You probably are going to have some hardline officials that are going to throw that one. So just kind of know.
What would be the call? Unsportsmanlike?
Possibly unsportsmanlike, which I don't agree with. But you may see it in an extreme case. You got somebody that's really grumpy. If you're going to say it, just make sure that they're saying drop it or something like that, and not something that could be deemed derogatory, because I think that would be the safest bet in that aspect.
Yeah.
All right, so KCI, kick catching interference, free kick in flight in or beyond the neutral zone, or a scrimmage kick in flight beyond the neutral zone. K shall not touch the ball or R unless blocked into either or to ward off a blocker, obstruct R's path to the ball. An exception is K may catch, touch, muff, or bat a scrimmage kick in flight beyond the neutral zone if no R player is in position to catch the ball at all. So I want to say that one again. We're punting from the middle of the field, and the returner gives that fake fair catch signal, and they go running all the way off to the left side of the field while the ball got kicked to the right side of the field. So there's no returner anywhere near it. K can catch that ball and down it at that spot. They don't have to wait for the ball to hit the ground first and then possibly take that wonky bounce and get into the end zone. So if your kid's smart enough and good enough, we always taught, you see that fair catch, you're sprinting your ass to the goal line and turning your back at that point in time because of that fake fair catch. So now if you can turn and get your feet on that 1 yard line so that you give yourself a little bit of a buffer and you can look up and catch that ball, good for you. That's going to be rewarded with a down ball at that point in time. But if there is a returner remotely close to that, you cannot catch that ball. These provisions apply whether a fair catch signal is given or not, but no longer apply after the free kick has been touched by R, or a scrimmage kick is touched by R clearly beyond the neutral zone, or, Daniel, any kick has been grounded. So there you go. Kick catching interference. Signal 33, and it is a special enforcement, which we're going to talk about at a future time because that's fun. All right, Coach Chip.
Kick catching interference 656. Penalty. Kick catching interference S33. Special enforcement provision. That sounds like a secret agent group right there. Awarded fair catch after 15-yard penalty from spot of kick catch interference. 15-yard penalty from previous spot and replay of down. Accept results of play. Awarded fair catch at spot of KCI, which is what I recommend. Just don't kick it again. Let's go ahead and take it there, but go ahead. Unless there's special acceptance there. Yeah.
Well, I would actually recommend the first one. awarded fair catch after 15-yard penalty from KCI.
Oh, yeah. That's even better.
So you're going to get that 15 yards, plus you're now going to be awarded the fair catch even if you didn't catch the ball. And why is that important that we understand that it's an awarded fair catch?
Why is it important? We understand.
You didn't catch it. I interfered with you. You never got an opportunity to catch the ball, so it's kick-catching interference. I tell you, Coach, you get an awarded fair catch 15 yards from the spot of the KCI. What do you have the right to run out there next? Daniel?
Kick off your field goal team.
Yep.
That's it.
So you have that right because it's an awarded fair catch. Even though it wasn't a fair catch, it's an awarded fair catch. You have that right to go with the free kick after a fair catch, which we're going to talk about in a couple slides.
Okay.
Daniel, sir, fair catch or not a fair catch?
Fair catch versus not a fair catch 6-5. Fair catch, valid fair catch signal and catches the kick. Awarded fair catch, provision of penalty for kick catching interference. R, the receiving team has option to next snap or free kick anywhere between the hash marks. After fair catch or awarded fair catch 6-5-4 or 4-3-6 D and E. Spot of fair catch or spot of the kick catch interference, succeeding spot after enforcement of kick catch interference, meaning that 15 yards we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Options remain after next down if it is to be replayed for foul or inadvertent whistle. Not a fair catch, an invalid signal, signal by a different player, signal and muff, the ball is still dead, just no protection and don't have option to choose where to snap.
So, my partner, we have two returners back, and my partner to my right gives a fair catch signal, but I catch the ball without knowing that they gave a fair catch signal. Am I awarded protection?
No.
No.
But you also can't advance it.
Correct.
Just going to blow it dead, right, Mike?
Yep. Now, if I blow it dead and now somebody comes and blows me up, now I'm going to get protection. But if it's a bang-bang type of play, no protection. So that's why we got to know that. I want to go back here. R has the option to next snap or free kick anywhere between the hash marks. So the receiving team catches the ball on a fair catch in the middle of the field. Can they put the ball on the left hash for the next offensive play?
Yes.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Or they can free kick it from anywhere, too.
You betcha. All right. Coach Chip, free kick after fair catch.
One of the most unique situations in football. Not many know of it, and I practiced it for 40 years and never got to do it. Rule 4-1-2C. A free kick shall also put the ball in play. C. When a free kick is chosen following a fair catch, an awarded fair catch, or the replay of a down which follows a fair catch, or an awarded fair catch. 6-5-4, the captain, the coach, may choose to free kick or snap anywhere between the hash marks. Rule 8-4-1A, a field goal is scored as follows. A, the field goal attempt shall be a place kick or drop kick from scrimmage, or from a free kick following a fair catch, or an awarded fair catch. And
All right.
I've seen it done with the holder, comes out and holds it, and I've seen it done where the guy kicks it. Now, I wasn't there. I've just seen video of it, where they just kick it from the tee. But either way, if it goes through the goalpost, through the uprights, it's 3.
So I got 2 video clips I'm going to show. And Daniel, this is one that we actually talked about previously. This was from the state championship game in Alabama 5A football this past season. Moody versus Vigor. Viger, I'm sorry.
Kick from deep inside their own territory.
Now, that one, Daniel, I don't know if you remember. That's just the kick, and you got the fair catch. If you remember the scenario with that one, it was an absolute monsoon at that game. And the fact that that kid was able to get under it and get that fair catch and catch that fair catch is incredible. But because of that, Coach had the wherewithal.
It's kind of interesting right
Yes.
here. You know, fair catch at the end. You can take a free kick, and if you can make it now, I mean it's a field goal, and
you can put it on the kickoff tee.
And it is very much within his range now.
Well, we saw him kick off and drive the ball 9 yards deep.
So I'm pausing it here for a second, gents. I want you to take note to the formation because this is a free kick. So they have 5 to the left, kicker, 5 to the right. You must be in a kick formation because I've also seen where a team didn't know and they had all 10 cats just standing close to their sideline with the kicker out there to kick the ball. That technically is illegal. The receiving team is 10 yards expanded neutral zone. There's really not much that they can do here. Now, if this kick comes short and doesn't cross the goal line, can they return it?
Yes.
Yep. If it crosses the goal line, it's a touchback.
Touchback, yeah.
And if it goes between the uprights, like this kid from the 40-yard line, making this a 50-yard field goal.
With a regular kickoff, regular distance, he's
got a shot at this.
He could put this one above the field club.
And he's going to be close.
Choosing.
Drilled it.
There you go. There it is.
Drilled it.
All right. Of course, this is Alabama. Okay. That was this past fall, December. The color guy, the analyst on the broadcast, was my defensive coordinator when I played at Troy back in the early '80s. It's Alabama. We all know each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was Rick Rhodes.
I was hoping you were going to say listens to the show.
We were there.
Yeah, Coach Chip was the one that actually texted me and said, "Oh, you got to watch this one." So I went on the NFHS channel and pulled that baby up. All right. So by choosing a fair catch, free kick, R can score a field goal via a free kick. Why would they? Uncontested. Again, like you talked about, he kicked it off the tee, but you've seen it where it is being held. I've talked to a number of different people. Some people like to do it. Their kickers, it's all going to kind of depend upon their kicker. Some of the kickers like to see the operation. So they'll have the holder with the hand down and fake getting the snap of the ball and bringing it there. Other teams will actually do the operation, which kind of penalizes you 6-7 yards, depending on that. But again, kickers are a strange crew. So whatever they like to do is kind of what it goes with. When would this happen? Usually late in the half or the game. Presumably 3 points are going to affect the outcome, especially in the fourth quarter in that scenario. K is punting deep from their own territory, which was that scenario. And the foul for KCI and getting that 15 yards or the fair catch after a short kick. So if you get that KCI and that ball gets moved up, a lot of teams will try to send out their offense, go for a Hail Mary. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong with a Hail Mary, penalties, incompletes, interceptions, with the small percentage being a completed touchdown. But you may have a better chance of getting 3 points if you got a kid that can kick the ball. So
it happened in 2017 in Georgia in the playoffs. Colquitt County beat Archer, which is outside of Atlanta, but they did it at the end of the half. Then back in '83 or '84, it happened in Alabama. Emma Sanson High School and Colbert County. And no, I'm not remembering it. I went back and looked it up. but I remember it happened, but I don't remember the details.
You remember where you had to go to look it up, so.
Yeah, but now that literally happened at the end of the game, and they won the game because of it, like 10-7 or 13-10. So I'm just validating what you said. That's when it's going to happen. It happened in Georgia back in 17 into the half. It happened in Alabama back in the 80s. And I knew people that were at that game, and they said everybody was looking around, and there was actually 2 5-yard penalties on the receiving team because they didn't know what the hell was going on, so they got called for being offsides.
Okay.
The first time they did it, they actually rushed him.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
when the referee blew it into play and then the kid started toward the ball, the receiving team took off and rushed him. There's no video of that. I'm just going by people that said they were there.
But yeah, that's one of those anomalies. That's one of those. I think I called it a unicorn type of play. You don't see it often, but if it's a well coached team, you got to be ready for it. And again, we don't want to make the mistake. And that where that play on the film that we just watched here, the kid fair caught it outside the hash marks. I don't know if the kid wanted to kick it from the right hash. The official was pointing where to place the ball. I don't know if he was just saying you kick it from the 40-yard line because that's where it was, or if he was pointing from the hash. But if that kid's a lefty kicker and he caught it outside the right hash, he can bring that ball all the way back to the left side to kick it from there. So again, the kickers are their own unique entities. So they have the choice in that scenario of where they want to kick the ball. And it does make a difference because for those that watched the game on Sunday, late in the game when somebody needs a field goal to win it and the quarterback's going to take a knee, the quarterback's going to go behind one of the guards or tackles to better place the ball for where the kicker wants to kick the ball from. So they know all these different things. So we don't want to take that away.
One of the things, that is one of the, you kind of talked about only working on special teams on Thursdays. This is something you can only work on Thursday. I wouldn't do it any other time. And coaches, it take you, once you teach the kids what you're doing the first time, it takes you 1 minute to practice this every Thursday. That way, when you do, when it does arise, when the situation arises, your kids aren't taken unaware and go like, "What the hell's going on? What are we doing? What are we doing?" Because you've practiced it every Thursday for 1 minute, and even come up with a cute nickname for it or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And just and yell it in practice on Thursday, and they run out there and they set up and they kick a field goal from the 35, 40, whatever. But I did it. Well, I'm still volunteering, so maybe one day before I leave this earth, I'll get a chance to do it in the game. I don't know.
I got a feeling you will.
Well, I mean, I ain't even whiffed it. But
Yes, but
we'll
now
see.
you know it even that much more now.
Dude, I bet I've been practicing that thing since the 90s. When I heard the story about that happening in the early 80s in Alabama, anytime I was in charge or had a say-so on the staff, we practiced that every Thursday.
Yep. Well, gents, we've come to the end of our presentation for Rule 6. Guys, I appreciate you once again. Daniel, Chamberlain family, once again, congratulations for a beautiful child brought into the world.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Coach Chip,
We're
thank you
excited.
for the beautiful stories and the memory that I wish I have. I appreciate you guys more than you guys know. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully, again, you go back and read that rule book on Rule 6. You listen to this again. And please, if you have any questions, feel free. Shoot me up with an email. Hit me up on social media. Hit Coach Chip up. Hit Coach Daniel up. Guys, we didn't do it in the beginning because I had some technical difficulties, but throw out where they can find you guys. Coach Chip, where can people find you?
Football Talk with Coach Chip on Facebook group. Football Talk with Coach Chip on YouTube. Football Talk with Coach Chip, the podcast, wherever you get podcasts. Be sure to follow and give it a 5-star rating. And go on over to my YouTube channel. I had a guy the other day, and he said, "Well, I'm not a football coach. I don't need to like you and subscribe to your YouTube channel." I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Dude, I got like 6,000 subscribers. I bet only 1,000 of them are coaches. Go over there and subscribe to my cockeyed channel. It's a doctor I eat breakfast with on Wednesdays." And so all you officials, go over there and subscribe and help a brother out. This is my retirement gig, y'all.
And Daniel?
Find me in a few different places, primarily on the Football Coaching Podcast with Joe Daniel, the Coaching 101 podcast, which I record with Kenny Simpson. Maybe some news or some bigger stuff coming. I don't know. We won't break it until we get things finalized. But go over and listen to those two podcasts. Same as with Chip. You can give us a rating of 5 stars or whatever the heck after you listen to it and like it.
Yes.
I don't care.
And then you can find me here on the Mike D, the referee show, a.k.a. Whistle Talk.
Yes, sir.
And coming up real soon, Mike D will be on Football Talk with Coach Chip, the podcast, for his annual Points of Emphasis visit with the coaches.
Love it.
I heard knee pads aren't a thing this year. Like, we're not looking at them as much.
Says who?
Twitter. You know it was true. It was on the internet.
Yeah. 100%. All right, guys. Be well. Thank you once again, and keep an ear open for. I got to do another quiz show coming up in the next couple weeks to go over some of the rules that we've been talking about these last few weeks. So if you guys are interested in joining me for some question and answer segment, we'll be doing it on 4, 5, and 6. So got
if you
that.
need me, just put the bat signal up in the air, and I'll come a running.
Sounds awesome. Thank you guys once again. Have a good night. Be well.